If you don't start taking risks right now, you are probably never going to achieve the exact dream life that you want for a few reasons that I'm going to break down in this video. But if you don't know me, my name is Tanner Johansson and I actually do remote sales. But I've been able to make $20,000 per month roughly about now. And I went from a cook at Hooters to making close to $20,000 per month now in less than a year. And the only reason I was able to do that and actually achieve this life living in Bangkok, Thailand, traveling the world, going to 9 countries just so far in 2024 is because I've taken massive risks and I've never looked back. And some of those risks haven't turned out the way I've liked, but the ones that have worked out have gotten me way higher exponential returns than compared to the losses of the risks that didn't work out. And so the point is, you just need to start taking risks and you need to stop analyzing every single risk to the core of the world. And a lot of people, since I'm in sales, I know a lot of people need to think about everything, their analysis paralysis. And another part of taking risks is being able to make the hard decision, because that's the hardest part of taking a risk. And actually becoming successful. It's not like the hours and staying consistent every day, which obviously is hard, but it's the very beginning, the first risk you have to take, the decision to get uncomfortable and just accepting that there could be a reality out there where you don't actually succeed with that specific risk and it just doesn't work out. But you have to remember that if you never give up, there's no way you don't succeed. It's either you be successful or you fail by quitting. And so if you stick with it long enough, there's literally no way that you don't become successful. And I forget the exact phrase, but it's you don't fail, you quit, right? Because if you just never quit, then you cannot fail. It's literally impossible. And I've taken massive risks because I was literally a Hooters cook about a year ago. And I was making $20 an hour, making $2,000, $3,000 per month, working 60, 70 hour weeks. And I knew that there was way, way more to life. But I didn't know where to start. I was still living with my parents and I didn't have any high income skills. And I didn't know what risks to take. So I had a Turo business. I bought a couple cars and I was able to save $20,000, which is how I was able to start this business. And I started this business and it was an absolute disaster. As you guys know, Turo is renting cars out to people. So they would rent my cars, they would absolutely damage them. I wasn't making very much money, but I learned a ton. I learned to actually take risks. And that was my first thing. I lost most of that $20,000. But shortly after that, I just knew there had to be a better way. And I heard of someone making money online with this thing called remote sales. And they were making $12,000. I was in a Discord group for trading and he told me about it, which is a really funny story. It's just the luck of the world that I ran across that. And he said he was making $12,000 a month from his laptop in Puerto Rico. And my mind was blown because I was working at Hooters and a factory, 60, 70 hour weeks. And just by reading that, I knew there was more to life and I needed to learn to do something online, an actual valuable skill. And I realized that sales is the most valuable skill and that's what he was doing. So I went down the rabbit hole, I started digging into it and I started just a few weeks later digging super, super deep. And then I paid someone $10,000 that I didn't even have to teach me everything they knew about sales. And that was the first risk I took when it came to the online world. And it ended up paying off, but it was an absolute grind. And then it didn't pay off until I actually moved to Thailand, which is about 9 months ago. And the reason I came out here was because when I was back home, I was living with my parents and there was just so many ways I was still comfortable. Obviously, I had still invested that amount of money. I put it on a credit card and I wasn't making money online with sales yet. So I still had to work at Hooters. I was working there, making the money to pay it off while I was learning. And I just realized if I don't get even more uncomfortable and put my back against the wall and take another risk, then I'm probably not going to get there or it's going to take a much longer time. So I booked a one-way flight to Thailand a few weeks after just hearing that Thailand was a sick place to live. And that was another huge risk I took. And that is the main reason I was able to see the success that I see now. because I was able to get uncomfortable. I only had a certain amount in savings and I wasn't making money online yet. So my only option to be successful and not have to fly home and almost like fail the mission was to make money online with this new way that I learned, which is remote sales, which is still what I do. And I did it. After a month here, my first entire month in Thailand, I made $8,000 from this way. All right, and that was attributed to getting uncomfortable because I became the exact type of person I needed to become while moving to Thailand, getting super nervous, getting super uncomfortable. And that was what was able to help me grow into the person to make $8,000 in 1 month. All right, and I always knew, for you guys as well, like if you're scared of taking risks, you're scared, okay, what if it doesn't work out? You just have to remember that you can always go back to a 9 to 5. No matter what happens, unless there's like a zombie apocalypse, you can always go back to the 9 to 5 life you were living before, and you can always make enough money to survive until the next risk. Or if you just never want to try again, you can go back. And so the real risk isn't, actually making a change. The real risk is staying in the same spot because you literally have nothing to lose. You can try a new business, you can try a new skill, you can try remote sales, you can move to Thailand, and if everything fails, you go absolutely broke, you can just move back home, you can start getting a 9 to 5 job again, start saving up money again, and nothing has changed. But if you do nothing, then you're just gonna live with a life full of regret. You're gonna wake up one day, you're gonna be 30, you're gonna be 40, you're gonna be 50, you're gonna be 60, and you haven't taken any risks because you always wanna think about it, you always wanna wait till it's the perfect time. And spoiler guys, it's never the perfect time. And an opportunity is never perfect. You just have to make the decision. And just me taking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and even thousands of sales calls over the past year, and people, struggling to make decisions, the people that can make a decision right away on the call, they are the most successful. And I've seen it because I get to see the students' success, and I remember who could make the call, who could make the decision on the call, or who needed to think about it for three or 4 weeks, or even a few days. The people that were able to make the decision on the call, even if it wasn't like the perfect opportunity for them, they just made a decision because they knew if they did nothing, it would be worse. Those people were always more successful. So stop over-analyzing everything because it's never gonna be perfect. If it makes logical sense, you just need to do it. And the worst that can happen is you just go back to what you were doing before, get back on your feet, and everything is going to be fine and your life hasn't changed. But the biggest loss is going to be having regret when you're older and never achieving what you want to achieve. So hopefully that helps, guys. And obviously, if you're watching this, you probably want to take a risk. You probably just heard all of that and you're inspired. And I do mentor students one-to-one. But if you just want a free course, so hopefully that helps, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you subscribe. I have a free course below. And if you're looking to get into remote sales, I do teach people how to get into remote sales, and my students are crushing it right now. So if you want one-to-one help with me, feel free to just book a call with me directly. The link is in the description of this video, and we can see if I can actually help you and if you would be a good fit for my mentorship. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.